Hey, Mike, can you make Deb co-host or make me the host so I can do it?
Yeah, I'll make her co-host right now.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Teacher said Virginia is for lovers. Had a Bible in his left hand and a bottle in the other. He said all you're really given is the sunshine in your name. We both started laughing when the sky started to rain. Get along down the road, we got a long way to go. Scared to live, scared to die. We ain't perfect, but we try. Get along while we can. Always give love the upper hand. Paint a wall, learn to dance. Call your mom, buy a book, drink a beer, sing a song, make a friend. Can't we all get along? Saw a model on a billboard, 1-800 get to know me. Wondered what she photoshopped over. Her eyes really that lonely? Did she leave her hometown thinking she'd end up in LA? Did she break down in the desert and get stuck beside the highway? Get along down the road, we got a long way to go. Scared to live, scared to die. We ain't perfect, but we try. Get along while we can. Always give love the upper hand. Paint a wall, learn to dance. Call your mom, buy a book, drink a beer, sing a song, make a friend. Can't we all get along?
Good morning, 8:30 on the dot.
Good morning.
Okay. It is Thursday. I thought it was Thursday all week. I don't know what happened. It was weird. But it's Thursday, August 27th, which means we have 4 more days left in this month. And I did not look, but on Tuesday, we had 165 closings supposed to happen. So just a word to the wise, be nice to the accounting staff for the next 4 days, actually the next 6 or 7 days, is they are pouring it on for our benefit. So I think it's once in a while a good thing to say thank you, because we really do make it hard on them by cramming everything at month's end. Very difficult. Okay, good. A couple minutes here for things to boom. Deb, what's your inspiration for the morning?
Just get out there, get a schedule, and go to work.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about that.
We are. Very interesting. I did a call with Zillow yesterday. It's called Zillow Unlock. And that's an event that I went to in Chicago 2 years ago. And they brought all the premier brokers together, the best of Zillow, if you will. And they wined and dined us, and they paid for super nice hotel rooms and airfare and all that stuff. And they did that same event yesterday. They did it for 3 hours in Chicago, for 3 days in Chicago. They did it in an hour and a half yesterday. There's no airfare, there's no hotels. It was all on Zoom. It wasn't actually Zoom, it was their platform. But very interesting information. And I'm just gonna give you my opinion on this, and I'm not saying I'm right, but it baffles my mind that Zillow thinks they're in the real estate business. And you know, I probably am wrong on this, but they are acting like they are in the real estate business, and they are acting like the consumer is their customer, and they're partnering with real estate agents to deliver an experience to their customer, right? In my opinion, Zillow is really just a advertising agency.
Yes, they are.
That's what they are, but they're acting like a real estate company, and this is concerning. Their focus is on giving the customers more control. And that's created a problem with some of their real estate partners, right? Because now they've given the option, the customer can go find the house, set an appointment to see it tomorrow at 10, right? And then it falls on the real estate partner, I'll call it the agent, to confirm that appointment. And if it's not available, which many times it isn't, they have to deliver that bad news to the customer, which pisses off the customer because they want to see it tomorrow at 10. Because one of the prevailing themes on all these talks yesterday was that it's an instant on economy. Amazon screwed up the world. You go, you buy, and if it doesn't come in 2 days, you're pissed, right? So that's the way the world's going now. So the customer calls, they want to see a house tomorrow at 10, and they don't get it. They don't know that it probably had 10 offers on it last night. I showed you all this week that 48% of our listings we took this month are sold already, right? Boom, 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 boom. So they're going to give customers more control. Video tours are going gangbusters. I'll show you some stats on that in a second. They have 200 million customers being tracked. Okay, guys, let's put this in perspective. There's only 300 million people in the country, 330 million people. 200 million people's shopping activity is being tracked on Zillow. So what Zillow's doing is what we should be doing, which is what your Zap site is designed to do. It watches their shopping activity and suggests opportunities and ideas for them. Hey, you looked at this one, you might like this one. It's acting like a real estate agent, right? So I'm not trying to scare you. This is not a threat. This is just saying you better be really Johnny on the spot with your customers, or somebody else is going to jump in there. And that's not a threat. That's just what I'm watching here. Their strategy is to engage the high intent buyers and pass them along to the premier agents. Engage the high intent buyers. So they're tracking all those activities to find out which ones are high intent, and then they'll pass those along, which is what we call connections when they send them to us. And then I talked about the set a tour. Now, the reason Zillow does the set a tour is it's the quickest way to get started. The whole goal with any internet lead conversion right now is to set an appointment, because I forget the stat, I didn't write it down. It's over 85% will do business with the first agent they come in contact with. So it's a speed to lead race to the appointment, because once you meet them, they're sticking with you because they don't want to go through it again. Now, this is interesting because remember, they're an advertising company that thinks they're a real estate company, and they're acting like a real estate company. So to solve the problem with the set a tour, they're partnering with Showing Time. So Zillow concierge will just go through Showing Time and set the appointment already, so the customer doesn't have to get disappointed by the premier agent. Now, this could be a nice fluid dance where we're playing nice together, or this 800-pound gorilla is coming into the marketplace. But they're very clear that real estate agents are essential to the process. Oh, just a tip. When you do get calls on properties that are sold, don't give up. Have other properties set up for them. So they had 2 broker agents on the team here doing a little presentation. And it says, when you're under contract, have alternative properties set up. So if they called on 123 Any Street and it's sold, let them know it's sold. But I've also set up appointments on 2 others. Keep them engaged, because you want to get in front of them, because once you do, they're yours. I like this concept, and I think could get some legs to it. Well, before I get there, the 3D tours during the pandemic spiked 750%. They said Zillow's views have like doubled. Correct, John. Zillow wants agents, but only if you're paying for advertising. 1/3 of the population prefers 3D versus an in-person tour, which I think is hard to believe. Okay, so here's the concept. So these are 2 agents that do a really good job, that teams or brokers, whatever, I'm not sure what they were. But this guy had this one example, and I'll leave you with this one. There's basically 5 buckets, and the concept is this: agents can't do and be good at everything. Because right now the agent, you, is responsible for everything. You're responsible for lead generation. You're responsible for lead follow-up. You're responsible for lead conversion. You're responsible for the showing. You're responsible for the listing presentation, the pre-listing presentation, the contract negotiation, the contract follow-through, the closing procedures, the post-closing operations. You've got to be perfect at all those. And agents can't do and be good at everything. So what they're doing, and we've done a lot of this for you, because imagine the company does a lot of things for the agents that, we're kind of spoiled about because we don't recognize or appreciate what we already have. But there's 5 buckets, and there's inbound traffic that comes in. Then it has to be scrubbed and sorted. Then you've got to find the consumer and advise the consumer, whether it's a buyer or seller. Bucket 3. Bucket 4 is you got to handle contract at closing. And number 5 is post-closing. Post-closing is something we really haven't talked about, but I think we're going to start talking more about it. Post-closing is you're not done, guys. Remember, these customers are worth $130,000 over the life of your relationship with them. And once they buy a house in a new neighborhood, they're going to be targeted by other agents trying to get their business. So these pop buys and little things you do are very, 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 very important. So anyway, I thought that was very interesting. The last speaker we had in the event was Robin Arzon, who is she's the vice president of marketing for Peloton, which is an amazing organization. And they were talking about Peloton, how they really are the first virtual gym. And it's amazing what their sales have been. They've just grown and grown and grown and grown and grown. So Robin was talking about how the pandemic, we're not going back to the old normal anymore, right? I'm not going back to a gym. I just like walking downstairs and riding my Peloton bike, right? It's just a lot easier. So I think there's a lot of changes coming, and that's just it. Don't fight them. They're gonna come. So we got to do that. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. So I want to share some of those concepts. Next thing before Deb and I get into the scheduling, I want to show you something that may or may not be relevant to you, but I think it's absolutely amazing because I'm dealing with it with the Mirror Bay project. So here's what happens. Well, let me show you the slides. It's easier. No, not this one. This one. Did I not open it? I thought it was open on the PowerPoint. Huh. Where did I put it? Oh, it's from Ovi. Sorry, guys. I'll find it. I thought PowerPoint was open. It was Deb's PowerPoint. Here we go. Sorry for the delay. Okay, so 84 Lumber is supplying a lot of our doors and windows and stuff for the project we're building. And we are putting pressure on them because we need our windows so we can dry in the house, so we can get the drywall, so we can get it finished. Or we've got a drywall, we need interior doors so we can get the flooring done, and all these things are interrelated. So this is well, let me show you the email. Says, Ovi, I've got some updates for you on some follow-up items for our meeting last week. Adam, my manager, and I just got off a conference call with some of the purchasing and sales managers at the top of our company. The purpose of that meeting was to discuss lead times and the current status of the building material market as a whole. We did get to go over lead times as well on various products, which is something you requested that we provide you info on. As you'll see below, windows are out 8 weeks, PGT's in the same position, interior doors, I'm not gonna read the whole thing to you, but you got the concept. And then, so this won't take, I'm not gonna cover the whole thing. It was fascinating to me. Okay. COVID protocols are slowing production. Social distancing requirements, downtime for cleaning, state mandates, and employee absenteeism. So we're dealing with this in the marketplace. Every business is dealing with it. Less production capacity on some commodities. Across North America, there's been 1 billion less board feet of production year to date versus last year on lumber. So here's what happens. The world shut down for like 2 months. So normal production was halted for almost 2 months. And the production was halted in anticipation of a lack of supply, right? So remember that, I'll show you the next slide. Canadian production is down 16%, Western US production down 5%. The decrease in production would be the equivalent of board footage of 37,000 trucks. Wow. As COVID hit hard in March, revised upcoming start information was incorrect. Very few builders kept start projections elevated at the onset of COVID shutdowns, with most builders projected starts being down 30 to 50%. Using the corrected guidance from the builders, most dealers and manufacturers liquidated inventory, cut back production. This happened during a time when companies normally build inventory. Reality, the drop in starts did not even last 30 days. The pace now is higher than original expectations. Dealers and manufacturers never achieve summer stocking levels. And that goes into Look at the spike in business. Now it's really, and I don't want to sound egotistical here at all. I mean, just reinforcing the concept that we are blessed to be in the industry we're in, because a lot of industries are not. But look at this spike in lumber composites, framing lumber. Demand for material from builders and DIYers have driven markets to new heights. Think about all the DIY. I've been to the lumber store, bought lumber this week, and not this week, but about a month ago. DIYers have driven the markets to new heights. Do not expect lumber to stop the upward momentum before Labor Day, which is next week. The upward run on pricing could go into October. Lead times of most dimensional items are already out to mid-September. I don't know when this report is done. Random length print is not keeping up with the reality of the markets. By the time Random Lengths is published, the mills are already quoting higher than substantially higher than print. Mills that have wood can get whatever number they ask. Rail car issues in Canada are adding to the list of problems. I don't know what SYP is now starting to move upward. So what this means is labor's low, construction costs are going up, prices are going to rise. This is all inflation, and it's all not demand driven necessarily. It's a different world. We haven't seen things like this.
Yeah.
A lot of wood is being bought price time of shipment. I don't know what that means. One major hurricane could kick prices into overdrive. Oh,
So that's today, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's today.
I looked at that weather this morning. That storm's a Cat 4.
Yep.
Holy sugar. Okay, anyway, the point, you got it here. It's just we're running low. There's supply chain shortages. And the concept that I want to get across is when we just have to be cognizant. I started when this whole pandemic started, I asked everybody, I said, look, quit being a jerk. If somebody needs help, give them an extension. Don't cancel anything, extend. And we've had some really touchy situations with people who were not, I'm going to use the word kind. You have to be kind. Different people react to different ways. I had a meeting at the Mirror Bay House with the developer and some disgruntled customers on, I say it was Friday afternoon. And I got out of my truck with my mask and I met Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, and they did not have a mask on. They were holding a mask. And I said, I wasn't wearing mine either. I was holding it. I said, do you guys feel comfortable without a mask? And they said, oh yeah, we're fine if you are. So that was just a kind thing to do. And it was fine. And then 5 minutes later, the developer comes in and drinking coffee at 4 in the afternoon, which would have made me sweat like a pig. And I just made the comment to be kind and said, are you okay with us not having masks? Because yeah, I don't care about that shit. Right? So different people have different reactions. And I think we as salespeople have to be cognizant of that. Anyway, okay, that's my little update for you. Deborah, you have been a rock star performer, presenter. You've done this presentation at state conventions and other places.
Yep.
And I think now more than ever, we need to focus on a schedule. I was thinking about this the other day. So I had to take my truck in to get new tires yesterday, and I had a computer outage. So the guy told me to take 2.5 hours. And it just doesn't make sense for me to drive there, drop off my truck, Uber home, get something done. So I sat in the dealership for 2.5 hours. While I was there, I had a Zillow webinar and I had a Ojo webinar. So I sat there with my headphones and my phone with a mask on in the friggin' dealership office. But look how much I got done, right? I was gonna do those things anyway, so I could just be anywhere to do them, right? So I live by my calendar, my schedule, and I get to pack it whatever I want. But I was thinking while I was there, I was talking to a neighbor. It's about a 15-minute ride from my house to the office, right? And then you got to walk upstairs and say hi to everybody and all that type of stuff. So it's a 20-minute. You got to get there 20 minutes before anything to start. So there's 40 minutes a day I just saved, right, by going back and forth. So that's an extra 40 minutes. Now I can get my workout done a half hour later, or I can get a longer workout in because I've got extra time. So I want you to think about your calendar and your schedule. And the fact is you do have extra time if you're not driving the kids to school because they're homeschooled or whatever it is. But think about it that way, because we do have extra time. And depending on your why and your goals, how you spend that time could be relaxation or driving more business, right? So anyway, Deb, I'll let you maybe promote this to presentation mode.
Okay.
Where is it?
I created this presentation quite a while back because it's one thing that agents lack in this industry. is how to really set up a schedule and run this like a real business. And in reality, this is a real business for you guys. This isn't something to play at. If you want to make money, if you really want to have a long-term career in this, you have to be scheduled. You have to run this like a real business. There isn't one business in the world right now that's successful that isn't run by a schedule, a complete schedule. You know, I run with schedules every day. I run with my
Schedules
calendar.
have been disrupted in a lot of industries and a lot of people's lives, and yours too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's so important to have a schedule because it keeps you focused on the most important things. Now, our schedules have to be flexible. All schedules have to be, but it doesn't mean we can't put our priorities first. And you got to be disciplined and disciplined. And Tom has added this one in for me when we did this for the Level Up University last time. Discipline is a study, learned, trained, and applied to a system of standards. It's true. Discipline is not something others do to you. It's something you do for yourself. You can receive instruction or guidance from one or many sources, but the source of discipline is not external. It is you. It really, truly is. Discipline is a choice. Your choice is a decision. Better yet, all of your decisions. When you understand that discipline as a choice, you're in control. Not anyone or anything else, just you. It's just about you. The more discipline you have, the more choice and more control you will have. When you have less discipline, there'll be less choices, less control, and you'll be running around like a crazy person thinking, oh my God, what's going on? So it comes down to you and making this happen for yourself.
Let's talk about discipline and what type of disciplines we're talking about.
Okay.
I want to add in that the number one thing, I think one of the things you said there is you are in control, not anyone or anything else. The more discipline you have, the more choice you have. The number one thing you need to do is take care of yourself.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So discipline of getting up and moving every day in whatever form or fashion you like is important. Taking care of you is the most important thing you can do. So
Absolutely.
if you want to take care of yourself, should it be on your schedule?
Yes.
Yes. And do you need the discipline to do it every day?
Yeah. You need routine. You need a discipline. You need to know what's happening, that your body, that you're taking control of your body and taking care of yourself first, and then moving on into your business. I fully agree with you on this.
Some other disciplines. I mean, I'm so impressed with when Puma came up with that marketing guide. And you know me, I'm not a social marketing guy, but the discipline of doing what he said would take about an hour a day to check your Facebook, make a post, check your Instagram, make a post, do some commenting back and forth, whatever you put in that marketing guide. If you would just do that, I was talking to an agent last night I haven't seen in a while. And I said, how's your business? He goes, I'm really not doing much. And I said, why not? He says, well, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, you know, if you could just do the marketing guide every day for an hour and then go do whatever else you're going to do. But it's that discipline to do something. And I'm not saying be the social media guy. That's not my thing. But whatever it is,
yeah,
do it.
Social media should be part of your discipline. It absolutely should be.
Yeah.
Okay. The more discipline, more choice, more control. Discipline gives you more options. It absolutely does. Higher standards improve skill and more flexibility. Less discipline, less choice, less control, fewer options. Lower standards, inadequate skills, and less flexibility. Do you think if you had a schedule and you scheduled in training every day, you scheduled in education every day a little bit, half an hour here, half an hour there, watching morning trainings every day, do you think you're going to get more education? Do you think you'll have more knowledge? Yes, you will. Do you think you'll make more money in this business? Absolutely, because it's going to get you into that mindset. Why is it important to follow a schedule? All successful businesses are run with major schedules. You will achieve more work in a shorter amount of time. You'll have control of your time, control of your business. You'll have control of your clients using your time. This is so key. It drives me crazy because when agents come in and they get so bogged down and, well, my client called me, they need to show a house tomorrow at 9 and I have scheduled to go to the beach for the weekend, and they can't tell them that that is not on their schedule. They can meet their clients later. You know, you've got to schedule in your family time. You got to schedule in time with your spouse. You've got to schedule in time for yourself too. It's just as important. You will never lose a client when you run with your schedule and you tell your clients what your schedule is. They'll respect you and meet you when you're able to. Because all real busy realtors run with schedules and they have to dictate when they can meet with clients. So you'll maintain a lot of consistency in your business if you do this. You'll have a steady business. You'll have more family time if you schedule them first, and your family will love you better, not just because you're bringing them more money, but because you're spending time with them, which is more important. And you've got to schedule in that family time.
Communicate your schedule.
Yes.
You know, I've got this builder I work with, and he calls me all the time. And it took me a while to train him that I am in training every day at 8:30. So now he doesn't call me during training anymore because he knows what my schedule is, right? And he respects it and he knows that I follow the schedule. And I was thinking about something else that happened the other day. I'll try to remain nameless on, but it was an agent who got a price reduction at 10:30 at night on a Friday, right? And this is a tough one because we want to be customer service focused. But first of all, I don't know why you're talking to customers at 10:30 at night anyway.
No, you shouldn't be.
You shouldn't, right? But
Two reasons, Craig, 2 reasons. Your clients may be drinking by then, and you may have had a cocktail or 2. Why should you be doing business during that time or asleep?
But when you look at your business you're not calling your doctor at 10:30 at night,
Heck no.
right? That's just weird. But the servitude of an agent, you're not a servant, you're a professional, and you can set the rules. So just because you get a price reduction at 10:30 on Friday night doesn't mean it has to go active in the MLS at 8 o'clock Saturday morning, right? Now our staff does monitor the listings email and contracts email on the weekend, but they don't, they deserve time off too.
Yeah, you have to set those expectations too with your clients. Say, this will not be live until Monday. You need to say that. Great price reduction. I'll send it out on my, on Zoom and everything. I mean, on all the social media, but you need to set that expectation with your client if you get something that late at night on Friday.
Yeah, because remember too, when the change is made in MLS, it also has to be made in Dash. And then those 2 portals feed out to Zillow and Realtor.com and Trulia and all those sites. That doesn't happen. Just because you change the price in MLS, it takes 24 to 48 hours for some of these sites to get caught up.
Absolutely.
Right? So you can justify everything when you understand how it works and communicate. And that's my whole thing.
Yep, absolutely. The next slide.
I'm waiting for chat here.
Oh. So that, setting your expectations while we're waiting for the next slide is so extremely important with your clients. And that is along with your schedule. I set up a company schedule just to show you all, this is what we do on a schedule every week. Angelique, God bless you for setting out our schedules every week and what type of training we have and who's training and everything else. That's why I put this slide in, because as a company, we run with that. We run with this schedule for you all. So you know exactly what to expect.
I'm getting a lot of other opportunities now. I sent out an email last night. Home Partners wants to do a class with us. There's a lot of people that want to do classes with us.
Yes,
and I don't want to mess up our schedule for 8:30 in the morning, because that's good content we're delivering.
Absolutely.
Right? There's other things happening, and I want to make it available to you. So I'm pretty much making, Wednesday or Thursdays at 1 will be alternate training classes. So Home Partners wants to do a full-on training class, which, put yourself in our shoes for a second. We did a lot of training on Home Partners in the last couple of years, right? And some people engaged and some people didn't. And then we did more and some people engaged, some people didn't. And then people left and people came and they missed all that. So we did a whole bunch of emphasis on Home Partners. So a lot of you know about it, but in the last year, we haven't done a lot on Home Partners. So there's a lot of you that haven't, and you need to be exposed to the opportunity if you want to become aware of it. So that's going to be next Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So I sent out an email, and then you put that on your schedule so you don't book anything else around it, right? And I'm going to try to do more and more of that. DR Horton wants to come in. I got home builders that want to come in, and I want to keep you all relevant. So I'll bring those in for 5 or 10 minute impacts on the sales meeting days. And then the other ones that want to come out and do things, we'll do separately.
Absolutely. So starting your day, Craig was talking about this earlier. You know, you got to start your day with some great habits. You need to exercise, and you should do it in the morning because it really sets your juices flowing for the rest of the day and wakes you up. And eat a good breakfast, eat protein, get some good protein inside you, say some daily affirmations and daily meditate. You can either do it in the morning or at night. I do this on a daily basis, guys. I practice what I preach here. Look at your schedule in the beginning of the day. Know what you're going to do. Have it planned out prior to that morning. Look, what time do you have set aside to prospect? This is my biggest question. In this business, it's the only question that matters. What time do you have set aside every day to prospect, and how much time do you have? And when I'm interviewing clients, this is the first question I ask them, because this is the most important. This is your money. This is how you're going to make your money and when and who you're going to talk to. Do you think that needs to be scheduled out and planned ahead of time? Yes, it does. How many contacts do you plan to make, and who do you plan to contact? Do you think if you had a list in front of you at 8 o'clock in the morning, after the meeting, you can go in and start prospecting and calling the clients you had planned out? Yes. And that should be on your schedule. You can plan all this out on Sunday evening, you know, when you're sitting in quiet time, and plan out your week. Figure out who you're going to call every day. Put their names in on your calendar, put their phone numbers, put why you're calling them. And then you've got 10 to 15 people a day you can contact that's already in front of you. Schedule it. Because without that, you guys are telling us, I don't know who to call. I don't know who to contact. There's plenty of people out there, but you've got to, if you know ahead of time what you're going to do, you will sit down and do this. And it's a great way to start making money very quickly if you get set up a system 5 days a week where you are prospecting. You know, Craig brought me in 2002, and I had a prospect for 2 hours between 10 and 12 every day. That was my schedule. And I think we all need to go back to that. So there's a schedule. You should prospect or do, additional training until 10, do your training. 10 to 12, prospect for new clients. These aren't callbacks. These are looking for new business, new clients. 12 to 1, take a break, go have lunch. You've talked for 2 hours, so you do need a break. Your mind needs to reset. 1 to 3, follow up. Now that's your follow-up time to call back your past clients, your past prospects, set up appointments, set up showings, and run with your buyers during this time. If you don't have anything, go look at open houses and go look at new builders. We have a ton of new builders out there with beautiful inventory. Oh my God, we got some great stuff out there. So you need that product knowledge. So that needs to be scheduled in to go meet these new home builders, look at the beautiful models, and get into relationships with their builders representatives. 3 to 5, work on social media, set up your drip campaigns in Business Builder, take educational courses, set appointments to show properties for the next day. You're running a business here, and between 8:30 and 5:30, you see how much you can pack in here, and then you can take off, have dinner, go out, relax, enjoy your family. You know, when you get really busy, or if you don't want to do the clerical stuff, hire a personal assistant, a contract coordinator to take care of all your paperwork for you, because in reality, if you're working $10 an hour for clerical, and that's not what the people are getting paid, but I'm going to tell you right now, your time is more valuable than doing clerical work. So it's very important that you got to think about hiring somebody to delegate that paperwork to, so you can work on your business and work on scheduling your business.
You don't have an assistant, you are assistant.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've had for a while and it really is mundane. You have to do the boring things until the boring things lead to results that are exciting.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's why a lot of people won't do this, because it becomes boring and oh my God. But to be honest with you, when you've talked to 10 people in a morning and somebody says, I wasn't thinking about selling last month when you talked to me, but I need to sell now because my husband got transferred. I'm having a baby. Something's happened in their life that you didn't even know about last month and they didn't know about either. That's when things get exciting.
Thomas had something just popped in my head. It just left. I will do today what others won't, so tomorrow I can do what others can't.
That's right. That's right.
So
And
you will
this is-
discipline
yeah.
yourself to follow a schedule and stick to it and do the boring things until the boring things lead to results that are exciting. What does that mean? Boring things will do results.
Script practice.
Jimmy Buffett.
prospecting.
Right? Do you think he gets excited about going on stage and singing Margaritaville after 40 years? No.
Nope.
But he does it over and over. Everybody wants to hear Margaritaville, Margaritaville. He's got to sing Margaritaville at every concert. He does the boring things over and over again until the boring things lead to results that are exciting. Now he's got a chain of Margaritaville restaurants. He's got seaplanes. He's got yachts. He's got houses all over the Caribbean. You know, he's a rock star, country star, but
He gets big fat checks for just singing Margaritaville, really.
the boring things lead to results that are exciting.
Okay. Calendars, I'm such a big proponent of everything online, paperless. Really get rid of the books, the calendar books. Please do that to yourself. The best ones online, I love Google because it can be on any of your devices anywhere. You'll never miss anything. When you're running with clients, when you have contracts and stuff, everything should be on that calendar. You know, as far as inspections, appraisals, all that needs to be calendared so you won't forget, because when you get busy, you will forget if you don't have everything on those calendars. If you're using paper calendars, what happens to them? And the books, they get lost, and then you're lost.
Or you spill coffee on.
Yeah, or you spill coffee on or wine. You need to set aside Sunday nights, an hour or so to think about your following week. What are you going to do? Set up that week. Don't wait. Prepare ahead of time and be prepared. So then you know exactly Monday morning what you're going to do throughout the week and who you're going to contact. I mean, this is not hard stuff. It just takes a little organization, little things to do. And you're going to say, well, I can't watch the meetings in the morning because I have a scheduled inspection. Okay, who scheduled the inspection? You did. Do you think that inspection could be scheduled for 1 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock? Yes, it can be. This is when you control your schedule. You know, so you've got to put your priorities first, and your training and your prospecting time are key to building this business. Your critical timelines, they should always be in your calendar. Always. Family time. I always tell everybody, schedule your family time first. If they want to go away on the weekend to the beach, schedule that before you schedule everything else. And then don't take it away. You know, don't tell them, well, I got clients that want to see houses on Saturday. Well, you could have told your clients, look, I'm tied up Saturday. I can meet you Monday at 1 o'clock. And they go, okay, that will happen. You won't lose clients. I can guarantee you that. But you need to really think about your business. This is a business, guys. This isn't waiting for things to fall on top of us. We make money when we create business and when we make things happen. Why do you need a consistent schedule? You'll build your business smarter, faster, better. All great businesses have schedules. You plan for long-term success, not just what am I going to do this month or this week, long-term. Your clients will respect your time and your consistency. Do you think Aixa, Andy, any of our top producers tell their clients, I'll run whenever you want to? They can't afford that. They don't have time to do that. They're usually running with a couple clients a day at least, plus other things they have to do. They are specifically telling their clients exactly what times they can meet with them. I'll meet you at 2. We'll see 3 houses between 2 and 4, and then I've got to schedule Mr. and Mrs. Smith at 5. That's how they handle that. And that's how you have to start developing your business to be in that mindset. You will be in more control of everything if you start doing it and looking at this as a true business. Your family will be so much happier. You know, and if you don't have a family at home, great. You'll have more time to do more things you want to do. So we feel the need to please and accommodate our clients. This is one of the biggest things I see with our agents too. Most of y'all have a great heart for your clients. You want to please them. You want to take care of them. And they will run you around like a choke collar, dragging you this way and that way. Our buyers do that all the time. You do not have to allow them to do that. You just have to nicely let them know what your time is. And they will respect that. We fear our clients are going to go to someone else if we don't jump and run with their schedule. This is a big deal. That's what a lot of you guys think. They won't. If you set up the expectations up front, they're not going anywhere. Fear, false expectations appearing real. You know.
I grew up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Interrupt for a second.
Sure.
I grew up in the Mike Ferry system,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm around with a lot of top producers, right? And one of the challenges a normal real estate agent has is they're not a top producer. When you're a top producer, you can't afford to screw around, right?
Absolutely.
You just can't do it. So I want you to act as if you're a top producer, because top producers will tell you, I can do your listing presentation at 3 o'clock on Thursday. It's not waiting for the customer to say, can you come over today at 4? No, I can't. I'm busy today at 4. I'm opening at 3 o'clock on Thursday. And that is a certain amount of respect that you earn, and the customer, because you're taking control of your schedule. And really, fake it till you make it, right? When you see you talk about Aisha, I always joke about Aisha, but not joke about her, but joke that whenever I see a customer in her car, I know she's got a sale.
Absolutely.
Because they're not getting into her car unless they're buying something, period. You can't do 50 sales a year by yourself and be screwing around with buyers that aren't buying.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just want to
Most of them, and you're absolutely right with Aixa, if they're not buying that day, she's not going to run with them that day normally. You've got to change your attitude and self-talk, and that's our biggest challenge. You've got to act like you are a top producer. Actually, what Craig said, until you make it. If you have low energy, I don't feel good today, start exercising. That helps tremendously. It does. You've got to keep that momentum going. And if you sit around playing video games half the day and stuff, it's not going to work for you, because you'll be too tired to do anything. Lots of bad self-talk. That drunk monkey is out there. He's alive and well, and you need to shoot him and get rid of him, and make sure that you've got daily affirmations coming at you that is going to overcome anything that your mind is telling you can't do, because we can do anything we put our mind to. Anything. Everything is possible in this business. There is nothing that can't be obtained. I truly believe that. You just aren't used to creating a work schedule. But I will tell you something. If you've been in corporate real estate or corporate America, or even working as an hourly person, you had a schedule. Go back to that. Everybody's been scheduled. You've got to train you and your clients. We've been talking about this.
think about that. Most employees are given a schedule by their employer.
That's right.
Right? And in this independent contractor world that we're in, you are your employer. And you're being a bad boss if you don't tell your employee what they should do. So that's a little, what do you call it? Dual personality.
Yeah.
You and your boss, but you need to tell yourself what you need to do.
Absolutely.
If not, we'll give you one for you. See?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to set up your boundaries with your clients up front. Let them know up front when you meet them. Look, this is when I run. This is when we'll meet. My phone is off at 7. And if you've worked with me, you know, I say that to you when I hire you in. My phone's off at 7. Unless you have a contract you're working on, then I will answer and talk to you through this contract. But, you know, it's like, don't call me, you know, after 7 just wanting to talk. You can tell your clients nicely the same thing. And just say, you know, they need to respect your family time too. They will. There's no fire, flood, or blood in this industry. There are no emergencies at night. Well, very few, very few. So
yeah, we have a Q&A question posted. It says, what's the best way to scale the schedule if you're having to shift to doing this part-time based on homeschooling and things like that?
Whoa, that's a challenge.
It really is, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
There are so many hours in a day, and most of our hours are very unproductive in this business, right? So when you have a schedule and you schedule the important things, remember the Stephen Covey, I think Chris talked about this recently, the big rocks.
Mm-hmm.
You got a pile of big rocks, a pile of little rocks, and a pile of pebbles.
Yeah, pebbles.
Sand. And there's a big vat, and you got to put all these things in there first. So if you put the sand at the bottom and the little pebbles on top, and then the big boulders, they won't all fit in the thing. So the moral of the story is you got to put the big rocks first, right? You could be a part-time real estate agent and make more money than a full-time agent if you scheduled your work and put the big rocks in first. The big rocks would be getting your education on things important and planning your prospecting. Yeah.
You know, we're fortunate, Craig, because they can watch training now. Everything's recorded. So if they can't watch us 8:30, 9:30 because they're starting their homeschooling with their kids, and I've been coaching agents through this right now, they can watch it later. They can set up their schedule to go to 8 o'clock at night or work when those kids are studying and they're online and you don't need to be there. Because normally if your kids are 8, 9, 10 years old, you don't have to sit there and be with them. The little ones you have to with homeschooling right now, but you do have time. You just got to think about the time that you have to separate things out and tell your family and your kids, hey, mommy's got to do this, daddy's got to do this. I'm going to be in my rooms, make your studies. I got to make my calls. We're talking 1 hour increments sometimes only, but sometimes it's all you need. But you do have to maintain, when you have kids at home, you've got to maintain a tight schedule with those kids right now because of homeschooling and everything, and it's hard, we know. But if you want to do real estate, you've got to plan on what hours a day are you going to devote and what time. And it doesn't have to be in the morning. You can make your calls 4 in the afternoon. You can make your calls when the kids are down for nap if you got little ones. There are times when you can really schedule this business, and I've worked with many, many agents in getting out of a business into this business and homeschooling kids and stuff. And we have quite a few agents here with little children, actually. So you just got to think about your schedule and your plan. Because if you don't, then you won't make the time to do this, but you can make the time to do this. That was a great question because we are challenged with that right now. Should you work weekends? It depends. Do you want to? Should you? Do you have to? You don't have to. If you want to, you can set up open houses and run with very qualified buyers who wants to buy now, but you don't have to. This is not a 24/7 business. There are no real emergencies in this business, to be honest with y'all. It is, you have to plan this out though, and understand, don't be reactionary when your clients go, oh, I got to see this house right now in the next hour. That's not going to happen because you got to set up appointments and everything else. Calm them down and say, let's set an appointment for today at 3 o'clock. Let me call the client, the other agent, and we'll see if we can get in. Otherwise, it's going to be tomorrow. Set those expectations up front. So, sticking to your calendar is paramount in this business. It's our lifeblood. And you'll have a much, much happier life if you can think about doing this. Your real estate business is your schedule. Do what the top producers are. And we've been talking about Aixa because I know her. This is her schedule. She comes in at noon or 1 and she'll work till 9. But that's because she wants her morning with her grandchildren and her kids. And am I right, Craig? I mean, that's been her schedule for years.
And her animals.
And her animals, yes, yeah, absolutely. She's got to maintain a schedule. You all have to maintain schedules too. This is a business. And I know I keep hammering on this, but when you figure out in your head, you're starting and running a business, you've got to treat it like that. It's not a part-time business to be in. Our clients don't deserve part-time agents. Our clients deserve our best and our best every day. You cannot be in top production and make money without a great schedule to take care of the work that you will be doing. So you've got to plan this like you're already a top producer, like Craig was saying. You've got to run this like you already have a ton of business coming in, because when you start getting that business in, you are already going to be streamlined into doing more production. A great real estate business starts with great habits. And that takes a lot for us to get rid of some old habits or old mindsets and everything else. But when you start working on this, it's a work in progress. That last slide is, yeah. The biggest thing we talk about in this business too is, what's your why? Why are you doing this business? What is your commitment level to this business? That is a big deal, because without a big why, without a reason, without a purpose for the money you're going to be making, you're not going to do this business. So, and we preach this all the time. You hear this from us on a weekly basis. What is your why? But you've got to figure out the reason you're doing this, and what are you going to use with the money when you start making the money? What is your purpose for it? It's a great conversation to have with yourself, your spouses, just to think about, well, I'm used to making 80,000 a year. Great. What if you made 150,000? What would you do with 70,000? Most of y'all don't know. You have no clue. But if you started making a plan that you want to do investments, that you want to do, I don't know, go on a biking cruise, first class, take the family. Jackie Stone takes her family, and she has a big family, every year to major places. That's her why. You need to have a why and a purpose for this business. The biggest reason to do this business is, do you care about your clients enough? Enough. It's not about the money. It's about them. the more people you help, the more people you care about in this business, the more money you will make. That money follows. And without that empathy, without that care, and without you taking care of those clients up front, you're not going to make money in this business. So you have to give 121%. This is a full-time business. And anybody that gets in here saying, I'm going to do this part-time, we don't work at nights normally, unless we're, actually, working on a contract. Weekends, nothing's open on the weekends for us to do closings, have appraisals, do anything. Everything is during the week. So you have to figure out what you're going to do during the week to make this happen for yourself.
You guys want to think about something? Look at the hot sheet that comes out every day at 11.
Mhm.
What days are most sales made on? The hot sheet that comes out on Monday this week had 16 sales on it. That hot sheet resulted in what happened on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that got processed, right? We're doing over 100 sales a week. So 16 were done over the weekend, including Friday. So the other 84 were done Monday through Friday.
That's
Right?
amazing.
Most houses are sold during the week. The public, no idea. They think everything's done on the weekend. It's
Yeah.
not.
It's not.
Lauren
And you
wrote,
yeah.
she said, I finally took a much needed day off last Sunday to spend with the family. I told my clients I wasn't available due to family time, and they respected that and wished me a wonderful day. We need to schedule me time for our own sanity. Lauren,
Absolutely.
I
Yes.
follow. I tell the agents that all the time. You guys
Yeah.
can't burn the candle at both ends. And I use this example all the time. When you get on an airplane, they say, if an oxygen mask falls, make sure you put it on your face first. You can't help anybody else until you help yourself. And I see the people getting burnt out in this industry, and it's just, hey, dude, I got a schedule. You're already burnt out in this industry because if you're doing it right now, you are busy.
Absolutely.
And you got to the schedule is the key. And then it gives you the power to say no. I'll show you my calendar right now. I look at my calendar. I look at it before I go to bed, so I know what I have to do the next day. I look at it again in the morning just to make sure I know. I'm doing this class now. I've got at 10 o'clock. I've got a coaching call with Op City. At 11 o'clock, this is interesting. All the managers I invited. Spark is a membership organization that is available for you to join as a member and then get health insurance at very good health insurance at affordable rates. So we're going to learn more about that today. And there's a whole bunch of other member benefits that go with it. So that's at 11 o'clock today. And then I have a 1 o'clock. So by 2 o'clock today, I will have had 4 meetings, right?
Yep.
Pretty cool. And then I got to answer all my questions. And then it's just like you guys, maybe you don't feel like I do, but I feel bad when I can't answer a call because I'm on another one, right? I feel like I should answer the call, right? But I haven't found a way to answer 2 calls at one time. I can't be on 2. So I got to just let that part go. I also feel bad if I don't answer an email quickly. I know most of you don't feel that way because you don't answer your email.
They don't, Craig. They don't feel bad at all.
But I'll be in meetings from 10 till 12. I will have a break from 12 to 1. So I'll get as many answers as I can in that, but 2 hours will run by. And you're not doing a bad job if you don't answer an email for 2 hours, right?
It's okay.
Because email's really not work. Email's kind of like follow-up. It has to be done, but it's not urgent. If it was urgent, you pick up the telephone and you make a phone call. If you've got a problem, you pick up the telephone and you make a phone call, right? I'm dealing with a lot of disgruntled people right now in this Mirror Bay project because they want to move in this month and we can't get doors. Sorry, right? So we can email back and forth, and that's what the agents are doing. They're emailing back and forth. And the tone of these emails gets scathing. Things you would never say to another person face to face, you will put in an email and then destroy relationships over it. So I get involved and I pick up these are $800,000 sales. I pick up the phone and I call the guy and I tell him the truth. And at the end, they go, thank you so much for talking to me, right? That's where we spend a lot of time messing things up. So the tough things get done by phone. The mundane things get done by text and email.
Yep. Yeah, I fully believe that. We have to keep those relationships going, and people, they want to be talked to right now. They'd rather sit in front of us, but too afraid to. And you need to be communicating, especially on important stuff like that. Because I think it's happening company-wide too, not just with the company, but we have clients that are just on edge right now. They've been locked in for 5 months, 6 months. They hate their families because they've been locked in with them for 6 months. And they're wanting to get out and take out their vengeance on somebody, and we're in front of them. And we have to have patience with that.
Yeah, so from January through probably August next year, there'll be a lot of births or a lot of divorces.
Yes, there will be. Yes. Both.
Q&A. Is there no, that's just for management right now, Regina. The Spark meeting's at 11. We'll bring it back to you. Then they're going to have, I'm sure, have a public webinar for what it is. Okay. Deb, I think we're done. I can go answer some emails now before my 10 o'clock.
Okay. Okay. You'll have an awesome day.
Great attendance, too, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. So first things first, go work on your schedule right now and prospect for the next 2 hours.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Happy Thursday.